Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm bringing up a pretty cool idea I came up with that I'd actually like to share with you all regarding the new Silentheart oath. In my opinion, the oath is pretty unique at first glance. The oath introduces dread stacks and debuffs reminiscent of suffocation and bear trap in your arsenal. The oath changes up some of your basic attacks into some pretty interesting ones, like the ankle cutter and what I'd like to call the final smash. You could tell the oath is a hell of a lot different from the rest of the oaths, as it revolves around the concept of vowing to reject the song and to defeat the users of the song with what it calls true strength. That said, following the oath comes with a major downside of having absolutely no access to mantras. Of course, with that in mind, it limits your ability to chase others, as the oath has no means of any mobility related tools aside from talents. Another issue with the oath is the scaling for the final smash. If you've done the cooking, you can develop a damage multiplier build with the Hive Lord Hubris in order to make your final smash do nearly hundreds of damage in total. So with the introduction out of the way, let me cook and tell you what I think should be reworked with the oath. First thing I want to point out is the final smash. With the ankle cutter being effective with weapon speed, the final smash is not, meaning no matter what weapon speed you use, the final smash windup will always stay the same. I'd also like to point out the scaling for the final smash. Since the attack scales off your weapon damage, it gives a huge advantage and a big reason to go heavy over a light weapon, since you'll do literal bandit damage. So I had an idea where, since the final smash requires at least one dread stack to use, I'd rework the ability to use up all your currently stored dread stacks, but it'll use every individual stack to increase the damage of the final smash, which fixes two problems. The first solution being the source of the scaling coming from the dread stacks rather than the scaling of the weapon damage itself. Doing so would level the damage scaling between all weapon types and make dread stacks a mechanic to focus on investing, since the final smash also has a 12-second cooldown. With that one out of the way, I'd like to talk about the issue with the lack of mobility for the oath. Since the oath is focused on the idea of upgraded basic attacks, I had the idea to make the running attack into a sort of dash attack for the user, as it would allow the user at the very least catch up to their opponents if they ever attempt to run away. I understand the ankle cutter attack gives a speed debuff and prevents jumping, but I don't feel the attack is strong enough to cut off options long enough or strong enough to keep them from track starring. Other than those two ideas, I don't particularly got any more in the tank, but hey, if you got any more ideas or want to talk about tweaking what I got, then let me know down in the comments. And other than that, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.